What is up, YouTube? We are back with another Blue Lock review. We're doing chapters 160 through 164. I backed it down to 5 chapters per episode of this series because 10 chapters is a lot to go through. So, we're going to go 5 at a time. As you notice, I'm pretty sure I only did 5 at a time last time as well. So, we're only going 5 chapters at a time. I really overestimated the amount that I would talk about this. Or underestimated. Whatever the fuck. Let's get right into it. Bachira takes the field in chapter 160. And we are on the field and we flash back to the beginning of their training where we see all the things that we saw with Isagi, Noah, and Bastard Munich. Kind of with the, basically Barcelona team. So, everybody's surprised to see Levinho there. He's, a world's class superstar. He's coming to train them. Holy shit. Kind of like the whole thing with Noah, where they're like, oh my god, we're training with the best player in the world. Oh my god, it's going to go crazy. And so Levinho explained that he is not actually going to teach them soccer because he's the best and that they should just be playing and that he is just going to kind of do his own thing. Bachira comes up with a confrontation as Levinho says this and says, isn't Noah the best player in the world, not you? Bachira, why the hell are you trying to make this confrontation a thing day one with him? Like, are you not even impressed that he's there? Crazy work from Bachira. He gets dubbed highlights, which is hilarious from, just the yellow highlight in his hair. But Otoya doesn't get the same treatment, even though he has the one green highlight in his hair. But we'll move on from that. I guess it's because it's just bright and yellow. Levinho shows his own striker mentality from this confrontation, saying how he's the best in his own right. And that his own visualization of the best player is kind of just whatever comes to him. And that he doesn't have to listen to what anybody says for who the best player is. Because in his own mind, he is the best player. And that is some goat shit right there. That is why he is one of the world-class players, because fuck what all that noise is. I'm the best. Goat shit. And so, he doesn't have to listen to anyone for that, but he also doesn't listen to anyone for his style of play. And that anything that kind of comes to him during the game is what he plays with. And he calls this his butterfly visualization of himself on the field. And so, he says that he uses this butterfly visualization to dance around the field. And this, whatever comes to him, is kind of like his mentality, and he'll score goals in the way that he wants to by just whatever comes to him, which is cool. And it definitely shows that Bachira fits here, because Bachira is all about creativity and dribbling and like what he does in the moment. So Bachira comes in and shows his original style of play, kind of like just with some good flashy dribbling moves as he does, and impresses Levinho off the bat. And so day one, Bachira is already going crazy for the Barca team. And then Barca has, some development. They start practicing. Bachira ends up talking to Levinho in a 1v1, kind of like Isagi did with Noah. Has a conversation with him about, like, what's just kind of going on with him. And so, Bachira combines with the mental note that his monster has been like his companion to like inspire his dribbling and things like that. And so Levinho tells him that the only way for him to evolve is not to beat his monster that he's been like trying to do to surpass it, but evolve his monster and play along with it. So Bachira has like a new motivation for his training to develop this monster that he has been playing with this entire time and evolve this monster and move forward on with his play. We flash back to current time. Bachira has the ball. He kicks off this play. He dribbles past a Munich player. Isagi can see that his dribbling has changed and that he's kind of dribbling. He has less wasted movement, but not just that. He has a stronger axis as he dribbles, which is kind of like his main driving force of dribbling now. He starts to play this new planned out dribbling play style almost, where he waits and takes advantage of a defender's mistakes or something that just can be capitalized off of. So Bachira is now like planned out in his dribbles and much more calculated, but at the same time is feel free and just kind of goes with the flow of his own movements and how he dribbles and understands like his skills. And this new playstyle is called his Ginga X Monster. I don't know if I'm saying that. It might be Ginga or Jinga or something. His Ginga X Monster playstyle. And so Bachira goes into a 1v1 with Kunigami after beating this player. And Kunigami, with his new upgraded physical abilities from whatever training he decided to go to, can keep up with Bachira for a while. However, Bachira, with his new playstyle and everything, is able to evaluate what's going on, breaks free with a pass to Otoya. Otoya is also in the starting lineup, notably. Not a surprise because he was top 6 in Blue Lock from the get-go after section selection going into the U20 game. So Otoya is also in here. Otoya combines with the Barca striker, and the Barca striker gets the ball back to Bachira, who scores a goal and is already proving himself to be at a level to be on the starters of this like World Cup U20 team. And so the Blue Lock players on the Bayern Munich side are stunned. I mean, stunned. They're like, holy shit, Bachira is already GOAT shit. He's the nucleus of their attack. He's already being the one planned around. Not necessarily planned around because they play free flowing. That's their style of play. But the entire goal was quote unquote planned around Bachira coming out with the ball, dribbling past a player or two, dumping it off, getting a kind of like a 1-2 situation, dumping it, getting a position, getting it back, scoring, and that he is already inspiring this team's goals for his play style and determining that he is the egoista striker. So Isagi looks at this, kind of evaluates it, talks about the method of scoring that the Munich team goes, because he calls back to Ego's words, and he even recalls the conversation he had with Bachira before they kind of chose their teams and split off, that your playstyle is going to elevate through your adaptability to your surroundings. And so Bachira kind of talked about how that no matter what team they chose, they have to make it the right team. There's no right team to choose. You have to make whatever team you choose the right team for you to elevate your playstyle. And so Isagi talks about how he is with the rational team of Bayern Munich under Noel Noah. Everything's about rationalization, and Isagi's kind of playstyle right now is analyze everybody's movements, what his own abilities are, what everybody else's abilities are, get into a position to score, and use his direct shot to score a goal based off a pass that he gets from somebody else. He begins breaking down the Munich team, and the method of scoring of the team is to get a goal and give Kaiser a finish at the moment. So, as the first ball was lost by Kunigami, everything kind of developed from them to get to Ness, to ultimately get to Kaiser. Kunigami didn't dump it off to Kaiser, who was free, lost the ball, yada yada. We saw that. So, Sagi wishes to score himself, but says that as he is currently, he can't disengage from this plan and create goals for himself. He would have to elevate his own play style, or else he would end up wasted like Kunigami, and that his style of play isn't at a level that is above Kaiser's to get a ball to score for himself. He would have to follow this play to let Kaiser score. He decides to analyze Kunigami, that he wants to prove himself to be part of this team, and he saw how Kunigami didn't prove to be useful in that scenario with the team. So he decides to analyze Kunigami to see what he shouldn't do and find a positive role on this team to develop goals for, not only the team and, potentially Kaiser, but also for him. We go into the next play. Kaiser is starting the attack with an execution that he's just calling for. He's like, we're going to just execute these people on the field, which is... Kaiser's a god. He's crazy. I'll say it again. Kaiser's like just coming with the animation with the blue tattoo on his neck with the blue rose. Absolutely insane. Kaiser is like such a badass. And he's just like, let's go execute these people. And so he plays Ness. Ness plays a special ankle touch technique, and he's called the magician of the team. Now, if that ain't some goat shit for like a midfielder, I don't know what is. Like, if you're a magician, you get the ball, you make magic happen, and then you dish out a goal. That's beast. That's beast. I mean, if you were dubbed the magician on any team, that'd be cool as shit. And so as the play develops, Raichi, pointed tooth, mad boy all the time, literally pissed off. I still don't even know what his like skill is supposed to be. I don't even remember from the first section, but little pissed off boy all the time is just saying that the playstyle of Bayern Munich is strictly the only reason Kaiser's good. Kaiser's play, however, seems different. Raichi says Kaiser only benefits from Ness being so good and like the rest of the team being so good and providing the opportunity for Kaiser to score. Isagi, however, can analyze the totality of Kaiser's play, the way he's playing, how he moves, he positions, he acts like a perfect analytical embodiment of Isagi's own version of play. Basically, how Isagi plans out his goals, he can see Kaiser does it, but does it better, faster, and more efficient. Isagi kind of like plays out his shadow behind it. You can see almost in the manga panels how he would shadow his own self, kind of getting in position for a goal, and Kaiser's just executing it a little better. Kaiser's positioning himself behind all these players in a logical movement to score, and Bachira shows up, noticing this. Kaiser positions himself to hold him off and holds him off with the hand, doesn't lose any stability, and just gets in a position to have a shot. Isagi sees that he is going to get this ball, and Isagi's own vision kind of halts himself to think that Kaiser is going to trap this ball and perform this shot on a stable balance that he like kind of has, stabilizing himself on Bachira, controlling it, taking a shot. Instead, Kaiser takes this absolute beast shot off a midair jump while holding off Bachira, and Noel can see Isagi just like analyzing like what the fuck just happened, with Isagi seeing Kaiser as the actual genius with unmatched abilities. Noel says that, you know, Kaiser has this Kaiser impact that even passes Noah's own abilities, and that with this shot, every goal Isagi sees is basically surmounting to a Kaiser goal. This Kaiser impact leads to Kaiser goals. And then the entire Bayern Munich playstyle is not just based around Kaiser getting a goal, but utilizing Kaiser's impact shot to score goals. Because how do you beat that? I mean, Kaiser has immaculate play to position himself to get into a position to score goals. Not only if he was able to trap it, but he doesn't need to trap it. He just puts all of his forward momentum into his leg and just makes this unmatched power, accurate like shot that can't be stopped. Which is like beast mode, just beast mode. Especially that Noah like dubbed Kaiser's goal scoring ability like Kaiser Impact, like he has his own fucking name for his goal. That's crazy. And so Isagi looks at this and realizes that this is literally the definition of Ego's 0 to 1 philosophy. You can get the way you can plan the goal is executed every time to make 0 goals to infinite goals. 0 to 1 goal every single time. And this is like the ultimate embodiment of Blue Lock itself, of like what they're trying to accomplish in making a striker. It's just someone who's every play looked at to score the goal. So after Kaiser's goal, Levinho on the sideline gets really inspired, fired up. He's like, let's get this boy in the game. Oh my God, there's so much. I want to be a superstar of this match myself. And so Noah's like, you are acting childish. I'm going to also come in this game, because why would you just unbalance this game? We're here to make these players better and kind of teach them to be better players, and you're just going to become a superstar in this match and score like 2 or 3 goals, and that like unbalances the match, and there's no point of the entire fucking match in the first place if you do that shit. Noah's like, I'm coming in now. So we got 2 superstars entering the field for 3 minutes in the first game after 2 goals, which is like, you know, we haven't even gotten to the goddamn meat and potatoes of what's going on here. But we got 2 superstars on the field now. And, you know, we see this funny moment of Levinho coming up and being like, yeah, you're just going to come do all this because you're shackled by your, like, playstyle and you care so much about being, like, real and shit. And you care about data. You're just a robot. You're Mr. Robot Data Man. And Noah's like, at least the people I'm coaching are not unsupervised children, because you're not even doing anything. You're just standing there. And then now you're just taking over the game. And so you get this funny moment of like Noah having like this little funny face. And Lamino's literally making the face that he's kind of like, literally exactly like Akichi from Persona 2. It's like 1-to-1. It's so funny. So this shows an interesting clash that could possibly come further down the road for this dynamic between Isagi and Bachira. How Noel being is rational driven, Levinho's being free spirited and unclashed, and like Isagi and Bachira basically follow these same 2 playstyles. Bachira wants to like free flow with his dribbling and shit. Isagi wants to analyze everything. We could see this like same dynamic come between these 2, that are friends now, but become like enemies later on, like Levinho and Noel here. Noel confronts Kunigami as he comes on the field, and he's like, the only two ways that a player makes it on this team is that they must operate to get Kaiser goals, or you have to become better than Kaiser scoring goals. And he basically forces Kunigami to be like, nah, I ain't at that level yet, Chief. And so Kunigami is forced to sit after he fails to provide any reason that he's accomplishing either of those. And Noel calls Isagi in. Yukimiya has a problem with this, however, because why is Isagi being brought in? Because Yukimiya scores higher than him on all of the training data. And Noel Noah started out with their entire thing saying that the team is based off rationality and that you will only be brought into the team if you meet these qualifications based on the data. And Isagi is below Yukimiya. However, Isagi is being brought in. Noel says that he is contractually obligated to bring him in, referring to him as the hero of Blue Lock. And the others are mad at this. He's only getting in the game because of the final moments that Isagi, incorporated luck into his game in the end of the U20 game. And Noel challenges Isagi to see if he has objections. I have my own thoughts written down here. I'm just going to read this word for word because I wrote these as I was reading it. There is Isagi, who has evaluated that he is not of use yet to this team. However, he does not object to joining the game. Of course, his ego would never let him not join the game, as it gives him experience. Plus, he would always want a chance to score. However, he will most likely utterly see him fail. So, breaking that down again. Isagi, on the sideline, this entire game so far, has evaluated that he is not in a position to score goals like Kaiser. And he is not in a position to basically be a star player on the team either. However, when asked if he's going to give away his chance to be on the team, obviously he's not. He has a striker ego, has to be egotistical, and he's just going to throw himself in this match. Whether he can accomplish this or not, he's going to learn from the match and then prove himself. So, Isagi's met with comments from Bachira and Kaiser talking about him coming into the game. And then we'll see Isagi reflect on when he was a young kid watching Noel Noah on the big screen, and now he's coming onto the field. I mean, could you just imagine, like, if you were a kid, obviously, you watched Messi, Ronaldo, Pele, whatever, some of the actual GOATs play. Could you imagine going from that and then playing on the team right next to Messi? I'm sure you would also shit yourself and be like, oh my God, I don't want to fuck this up or look stupid in front of the GOAT. So he's basically like saying, like, look how far he's come. And now he's going to play alongside Noel Noah, his childhood hero. So he has 3 minutes to prove to these stars that Isagi Yoichi is not here just for the tournament to prove himself as a player. He's going to prove himself to players on the world stage. Because this makes sense in the scheme of things that Blue Lock is here to make players who are strikers, who are so good that players of this caliber, Noel Noah and Levinho, are acknowledging them and will eventually lose to them because Noel's already challenged Isagi to bring forward an idea that beats Noel Noah's own vision. And so kind of like Isagi is just already preparing this mentality that he has to go in and prove himself to these star players and not just the people on Bayern Munich and stuff going forward. So Noel and Levinho go head-to-head with Levinho having the ball on the next play. And Isagi can't keep up with this. However, Noel can keep up with Levinho's movements. And he's the only player on the Bayern Munich who is keeping up with them. And we can see this absolute clash of titans occurring on this field in front of all these players. Isagi then becomes impatient to become useful and attempts to 2v1 him alongside Noel Noah. However, Levinho accepts that he's going to come and decides to capitalize off that movement. Rainbow flicks it over Isagi, makes him fall, and uses him to slow down Noel while he tears away from the play, and then goes on to dribble the rest of the players. And then we see Noel start to talk to Isagi as he's kind of picking himself up, and he says that the reason behind Levinho's dancing butterfly is not because of the way he plays. No, not because of the way he dribbles. It's because of the dance that people do as he dribbles past them and they fall is the dance of defeat. Now that's hard as fuck. And you're gonna make a butterfly like a little soft little flying animal, one of the hardest shit you've ever said in a soccer manga. That's crazy. I mean, that's dope as shit. We see Levinho literally dribble the entire defense and midfield and come up to the goalie and 1v1 him. He makes the goalie even fall, and does a bowing heel tap for the second goal and just a pirouette on their dumbasses. And it's like, I've scored. I'm a god. Everybody's like freaking out. They're like, holy shit, he's a god. Bachira's like, oh my god, my goat, my god, my team star player. Everybody's gassing him up. Kaiser comes to use this opportunity to get up in Isagi's shit, give him some crap, obviously, because Kaiser's on his ass from day one. He was like, I'm here for you, Isagi. What's up, boy? Now I'm going to give you some dog ass. Isagi fires back, saying that Kaiser didn't do anything to like stop the goal from happening and that he didn't step in to intervene while Noel and Levinho were going at it to begin with either. And then Kaiser, drops the fucking bomb on his ass and he's like, I didn't stop it, but I was smart enough to stay out of it and wait for an opportunity that matched, Kaiser's current skill level or any of the other players' skill level. They were all sitting there waiting for an opportunity to interject when the level of play wasn't at where it was Noel Noah and Levinho's play level, but it was down to their own to interject. And that one of the superstars had to get off their rhythm before that could be a thing. But he said that because Isagi did this, he's conceited and childish, and he's not good enough to realize when like he's in his own place and needs to ride out kind of like the wave. Isagi now decides here that he has to change his way of thinking to incorporate himself into the game. He can't look up to these superstars. The reason that he like want to interject and become part of the play, he wants to prove himself to Noel Noah on the team that he can play with the superstars in mind. But no, now he has to turn them into objectives like Baro and Rin, like he did previously where he had to devour them. And now he has to look at their style of play in these next, 2 minutes, minute and a half, whatever amount of time was wasted from that first play with Levinho scoring. I'm assuming it was probably like half the time, so it's probably like another minute and a half. There's going to be one more play with Noel Noah and Levinho on the field. He has to go through this next, 2 minutes, minute and a half, and evaluate their skill and devour it and become part of this team. And at this end of the chapter, we end with a restart with Bastard Munich's ball, and we get this perfect shot of Isagi, Kaiser, and Noel going on the attack. And that is where we end the chapter. I'm assuming that's also where an anime episode's gonna end, because ending with a Levinho goal and a Kaiser Isagi confrontation is a great place to end when they're about to go back on the rivaling attack. So complete breakdown, thoughts, interjections. This is going to be a critical development. A very critical development in Isagi. We can see that Bachira has already gone ahead of him in development, and we're almost back to square one, I would say, because season 1 of Blue Lock, we started. Sorry about that shaking. We started with Isagi coming in, meeting Bachira, and Bachira and Isagi become friends and everything, and Bachira inspires this monster inside of him, and then Isagi tries to catch up and become the star player of Team Z and score goals and everything like that. And we are, once again, without Rin, without Baro, without Nagi. It's just Bachira and Isagi again. So, we might see the future development, the next match that they play for Isagi's team is going to be against Baro or Nagi's team. Nagi and Rei are on a team. And then we're going to see that. And then, the final team they play maybe be, the Rin and Shido team, because they kind of came in at the end with, the second selection and the loss, and then going into the U20 match with Shido. So we also may see a crazy confrontation for Kunigami and Shido, as Kunigami is basically trying to develop himself into a striker that doesn't care about being a hero. It's like a demon, kind of like Shido's a demon. It doesn't care about anybody. So there's a lot of new dynamics that are coming in. The Bachira Isagi dynamic, kind of like the Levinho and Noel Noah dynamic, might be shaken up, as they might become more enemies than friends with their two different playstyles with rational versus freestyle. Kaiser versus Isagi and Noel, that triangle kind of there, as Noel is kind of rooting for and already plays with alongside and coaches Kaiser coaching Isagi now. They're going against each other. Noel's teaching both of them. Yada yada. It's going to be interesting to see the dynamic between those three. Mostly Isagi and Kaiser develop, because right now Kaiser's just absolute dog-assing Isagi. But we're going to obviously see Isagi do some puzzle pieces and fire back in the future, hopefully. So, going on from this, it's about to turn up. We're about to get a crazy second half of this match. It's only 1-1 right now, or it's only 2-1 right now. So they need 3 goals for Munich, I believe. Is it? It might be only 3 goals per match. So they only need like 1 more goal to win, or 3 if it goes to like 5 goals. I don't really remember. I'll figure it out in the next 5 chapters, I'm sure. But we're about to see a crazy second half of this match with the second half of the Superstar lineup. They're going to exit the game, and then we're going to see what happens next. So super excited, super excited. We'll be back with 5 more chapters. Hope you all enjoyed this and a little bit of this review. As you all know, I made us lost without the sauce, but the same we can get lost in the sauce. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.